One of the most common questions I get asked is, how do I sell myself without feeling cheesy? How do I sell myself without feeling, ooh, this is so naff. Oh, I'm so arrogant. And I have helped thousands of people in business go through the job interview process and go through the panel process. And one of the most difficult things that people find, and probably one of the most difficult things that you might find, is the whole feeling of having to sell yourself. Well, you don't have to literally sit there with a CV and list all of the great successes that you've done. And there is a way of doing it that makes it a lot simpler and much less uncomfortable. I have created a formula specially for career mastery today, and it spells the acronym TEEN, TEEN. Now, rather than trying to think about stories and questions and starting with a blank sheet, it's so much easier to have somewhere to go. And this is a really good starting point. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to do these 4 things. TEEN. Okay, we're going to start with the T. So when you are given a question, when you have to sell yourself in terms of how good are you at something, or how good a leader are you, or what are your strengths and weaknesses? One of those kind of questions. This is how you're going to answer. You answer, first of all, with the T. The T stands for top line. Now, many of my clients get this, they find it very, very difficult to answer a question quickly and succinctly. So the top line. So for example, one of my clients, Sasha, she had done a fantastic project, but she didn't really know how to talk about it very well. She was from a global organization. She was doing incredibly well. And she had grown her section of the business by nearly $9 million over about 3 years. And she just didn't know how to sell herself. So I said, Sasha, when you answer the question, so why you? You have to give them a top line. So T stands for top line. So in Sasha's case, the top line could be, I have grown the business by $9 million in the last 3 years. That is a pretty good top line. Now, the second letter in my little model of team is E. And E stands for example. Example or story. This is where you can tell a short, simple story. It's evidence. And the way that you give your example is, you're not going to be boring. You're not going to just talk about a paragraph as if it's just a script. You're actually going to give them a picture, an example. So for example, in Sasha's case, I worked with this client 3 years ago. We had a relationship. They had some very difficult data analytics that I had to help them with. And she tells a story about her client. And that proves that she's got a relationship. And it gives you an insight into her and her personality. The third letter is another E, because we're spelling the word teen here. The third letter is emotion. Put an emotion into your story. It could be something very simple. Don't run away from the word emotion. It's okay. Could be something simple like, I was really proud of that. Or that was really surprising. Or that was really challenging at the time. When you put an emotion into your story, it makes it yours. It makes it totally unique to you. It also gives you an opportunity to show a little bit of your personality. Now, coming from a broadcasting background, you're always looking for sound bites that have some kind of feeling or emotion, excitement, you're nervous, or looking forward to. And finally, the final letter is N in the acronym TEEN. The N stands for next. What next? What does it mean? So when you put it all together, you have a beginning, you have a top line, you have a story that allows you to give a little bit of your personality. You have a little bit of feeling, excitement, passion, worry, challenges, looking forward to. And then you have what it means going forward. What next? So in future, we could roll this project out, this model out to other firms, and we can grow the business by $9 million across Europe, for example. So you have a beginning, middle, and an end all wrapped up in a nutshell. Now that is a really, really simple way of you selling yourself. What you need to do is think about the questions that you find difficult to answer. So here's your action point. This is what you're going to do now. You're going to think of a question that you normally find a little bit difficult to answer. For example, tell us about yourself. Take that question now and go with a sheet of paper and use the formula TEEN. Top line, example, emotion, and what next? And see what you come up with. I think you're going to enjoy it.